All right, and welcome back to Mettle Works Behavior Health. I have a very exciting person that I'm going to be interviewing today, Mr. Ray Charles. Mr. Charles Ray, what should I call you?
Don't call me late.
I like that. All right, Mr. Charles, where you originally from?
Washington D.C.
Okay, what part?
8th Street, 426 8th Street Northeast, 8th Maryland Avenue.
All right. What elementary school you go to?
Golden Elementary,
Okay.
Glen Ridge Junior High, and Lago Senior High.
All right. Okay. What was DC like as a child growing up
Great.
around 8th Street?
Great.
Okay.
Until they killed Martin Luther King.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we had neighbors that I don't know how they don't do it now. We had neighbors that helped neighbors.
Yeah.
We had the lady down the street to pull your nose if you acted up.
Yeesh.
We had the people in the corner store you can get credit.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have food stamps because my daddy had a good job, but all the ladies gave my mother the peanut butter because she had a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
You know, and it was nice. I mean, I wouldn't go in D.C. and live right now.
I got you with that. So, wow. So, but you're not old enough to remember Martin Luther King's
Yes, I am.
assassination.
Yes, I am.
Really?
I remember the riots.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, my daddy and them going in the liquor store after they kicked the door in.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
So they talk about how like the city was on fire. So 8th Street was burning.
8th Street, downtown, northwest, northeast, everywhere was burning. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So childhood. How many brothers and sisters you got?
Now, I'm gonna talk about the here and now.
Okay.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4 brothers left.
Okay.
And 2 sisters.
Okay.
You know, but I come from one of them big families.
Big family, man.
Yeah.
Where were your parents originally from?
My daddy was from North Carolina.
Okay.
Country dude, country boy.
All right.
And my mother, I think, was from. She was a country girl too. I mean, they had all them children. They had to be country. You know, I think she was raised in. No, see, when I was born, everybody was here. My mom was tired of moving.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom was tired of moving. That's what I understand.
Yeah.
You know, but I grew up with a real loving, understanding family.
Yeah.
We had the community raising us. The grandmother, the aunts, the ladies in the neighborhood. We had a lady on one end of the street. She used to cook homemade biscuits with apple butter jelly.
Nice.
You know, some of y'all don't know about that now.
I know about apple butter jelly.
You
The youngest though.
Yeah, and we had the lady down the street. You know, they could, if you didn't make it home for that phone on the wall with the long cord, if you didn't make it home to answer that phone for they did, you got 2 whoopings.
Yeah.
Because you could do that back then, you know, but you can't do that now.
Yeah.
You know?
What were some of the rules of the house?
Do your chores.
Okay.
Respect your elders.
Okay.
Mind your business. Stay in a child's place.
Wow, I know that one.
But we had a lot of love.
Good.
You know, and a lot of togetherness. You know, especially me and my brothers.
Yeah.
You know, we wasn't bad. We were mischievous.
Okay.
You know, and that carried on as we got older. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. All right. And so, where were you in the birth order? Were you one of the oldest? Were you one of the youngest? Where you fit?
Dead in the middle.
Okay.
I got hand-me-ups and I got hand-me-downs.
I didn't even know you could hand up, but that's a new one there.
I'm number 6.
Yeah.
Out of 12.
Okay. Wow.
You know?
Wow. You're right in the middle.
Yeah.
There's a saying that says that like the middle children, they feel like almost a little bit neglected because the oldest one becomes that's the first one. So parents kind of give them a special attention. And then also the baby gets their own.
Oh, definitely my baby brother. To this day.
Yeah, really?
You know?
Yeah.
We cool. Me and him cool, but
yeah.
you know, and then my baby sister lives in California, and my middle sister who thinks she runs the family, you know, my older sister passed, and but my middle sister, some of y'all around here know of her, because I speak about her because she's part of my recovery.
Wow. Okay.
You know, a big part.
Good. So being the middle child, you know, what was that like in the family? You know, you weren't the oldest and you weren't the youngest, but did that have its own pressure on you?
I was looked over.
Okay.
Like I said, my mama was sewing my brother pants up and giving them to me because I'm the runt. But, you know, I still felt the love. I felt outside a lot of times because She had the little one. She couldn't give me attention.
Yeah.
She had the older one. She was always chasing behind.
Yeah.
And, I just, I maintained.
Good.
I got an early resolve because I always wanted attention.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless I got in trouble.
Got you with that. Now, what type of, you talked about your dad. He was a working man.
Yeah.
What type of work did he do?
He worked for Myers Exterminating Company.
Okay.
He was good at that, and I used to go with him sometime. And,
Yeah.
But I don't like to chase rats.
I get that.
But he was good at what he did. He worked there a long, long, long time.
Yeah.
And we growed apart when we began to get older.
Okay.
But and then as I journeyed on my own journey, and I made some negative decisions, we really grew apart. But I lost my wallet one time in Houston, Texas, and he checked all the hospitals. But I found that out after his passing, and that kind of haunts me to this day. But I've been to his gravesite to make amends.
Okay.
You know.
What was it you used to ride with him when he'd go to work?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was interesting.
Okay.
Especially if we went to White Castle.
Okay. Oh yeah. The burger spot.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember those, man. The White Castles, the little places, right?
Right.
They had the little huts.
Yeah. See, they don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, that's before y'all time.
About that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, was he a talkative man? Was he kind of a quiet man? What are your memories?
He was a stern man.
Yeah.
Sometimes he was there, and sometimes he wasn't. And I mean literally, physically, and emotionally.
Yeah.
Sometimes he was there, somebody wasn't, because he had his own issues.
Yeah. Did he talk about his father and his mother?
Oh, I knew all of them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I knew Grandma Ray. His mom, a little short lady. She should wave her fingers at her sons and tell them she brought him in this world. She take him out. That old school saying.
Yeah.
And but I knew all of his brothers, and a couple of them passed when I was young.
Yeah.
And some of them passed as I got older.
Yeah.
But I knew them. We knew them.
Yeah.
And we had some great aunts. We had one aunt that we used to go over there and raid a Christmas tree every Christmas, and she knew we was doing it, but she would do when we would come back during the Christmas season. She had them loaded again, but we only could go so high because we were so short.
Yeah, I get that.
But it was beautiful.
She put the candy canes on the tree.
Yeah.
Okay. That
Then
sounds like
then she re-put them on the tree, cause we would get as many as we could.
Okay.
We didn't celebrate Christmas at that time.
Yeah.
That was a thing with my mother and grandmother, and at first I didn't know. I just didn't know, but I know that kids got new shoes, bicycles, and toys, and we didn't get nothing.
Okay.
Till it was our turn to celebrate. They called it the Lord's Supper, and that's a whole nother story.
Okay. You talked about the things that your parents taught you, the things, and I suspect some of those things they said to you. What were things that they taught you that they didn't say? Like, what are some things that you think the lessons your father taught you?
Take the initiative. Do your best.
Okay.
Always be respectful.
Okay.
And I practice that today.
Yeah.
I try to call everybody Mr. or Mrs.
Yes, sir.
I still say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. I still hold doors, and sometimes it's kind of hard when I hold doors for men, and they'll look at me funny, and I'll be like, I'm not doing this for you, sir, and I ain't feeling no type of way.
Yeah.
I'm doing this because I'm looking for a blessing.
That's right.
And some of them get it. We have no idea what it means to somebody else when we're courteous.
Yeah.
Here, we could use Mettle Works.
Yeah.
Holding the elevator, holding the door. I came in here the other day, and there was a lady coming in, and she had a bag everywhere. And I was like, man, she must be camping out. And she had to put the bags down and get in the front door. So I held the second door, and then I held the elevator. And I even offered to ask her. She got off on the second floor. And I asked her, I said, you need some help with that? She said, no, I'll get it from here.
Wow.
But that's something our parents instilled in us.
Yeah.
And getting an education.
I love that.
My mother was good, keen on that.
Okay. Yeah, so it sounds like you guys really value kind of self-respect. You mentioned that your family, by the time you kind of became aware of the world, a lot of them were already here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what the migration path was? Who was the first of the family to come up?
My daddy and his people.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Okay. I'm not sure how, because the history is kind of tainted when it comes to my mother's side. But my daddy's side went back to the slave days. Because I remember my mama had a sheep. One of my great grandfathers was a slave. But my grandfather, my daddy's father, his name was Fuller Ray, big old stout man from North Carolina, and they liked it that moonshine.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
They were something else.
Wow.
But like I said, it was a lot of love.
Yeah.
And as life goes, people evolve.
Yeah.
I still keep in touch with my 2 living aunts on my daddy's side.
Yeah.
I have 1 uncle on my mother's side. I have 1 aunt on my mother's side, and I got another aunt by marriage on my daddy's side.
Okay.
Some of my kinfolks I actually didn't get to really get to know because I was elsewhere. I was either running around in the United States or I was incarcerated. And but today, that same aunt who we used to steal her candy canes, we talk often, because she's getting older.
Yeah.
But we still have those memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You being a middle child, you mentioned that there was a little bit of neglect that happened, and then you said sometimes you had to do things to get attention, and sometimes.
I felt left out.
Okay.
I had a pigeon. Strange. I had strange habits.
Okay.
I had a pigeon. I had a pigeon named Walter.
Yeah.
And it's cold in D.C.
Yeah.
And my brothers, it was getting on my brothers' nerves, so they made me put it outside the window. He froze to death. And I wanted to bury it. They made fun out of it, and it wasn't funny to me.
Yeah.
We had strange pets: a turtle, a rabbit, a cat.
Wow.
I don't like cats.
Okay.
Because they walk on you when you sleep.
Yeah.
But we had a good time growing up.
Yeah.
Yes, I felt neglected sometimes, because sometimes I wanted to, I guess you call it, converse with my mom.
Yeah.
But she was so busy because it was others.
Mm-hmm.
And we're two years or less apart.
Yeah.
Especially
Step.
Yeah, especially going down.
Yeah.
And then my baby brother got all the attention. I did get some of the attention because I was a little bit better than the rest of them. Yeah, but it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting family dynamics you have with all of you guys kind of step.
Right.
I'm going to ask you a question. When was the first time that you can remember either yourself or someone else in your family getting in trouble?
When Martin Luther King got killed. Before then, nobody.
Okay.
Never heard about Uncle this getting arrested. I heard about them going on U Street and to the Jew joints.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause my mom used to tell, she still regurgitates them stories right now today.
Wow.
About how they used to go out there and my daddy and his brothers get to fighting, and they had sisters that would jump in. I said, man, they was wild.
Yeah.
But the first time I remember actually them getting in any trouble was when Martin Luther King got killed.
Okay. And then how about for you and your siblings? Like, who was the very first of your siblings or you that you saw? Were your parents spankers?
Sir?
Were your parents spankers? Did they spank?
Whoop us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they whooped us. Wasn't no spanking?
Y'all got whoopers. I love it.
Were they spankers?
Okay. Who was the first person you saw of your siblings to get a whooping?
Me.
Okay. How old were you?
8.
Okay. What was it for?
I can't. I actually remember that we went to the White House, and I snuck off, and the Secret Service escorted me out. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see. They kept on talking about Lincoln, and he had a bedroom. I wanted to see where his bedroom was, so
wow.
I wandered off. And the Secret Service had me dangling, and put me out of the White House, where they put our whole class out. And I got that for that. But my parents wasn't, they called it corporal punishment now, but my parents, we needed it. Especially me, Kevin, Tim, and Cece.
Okay.
His actual name is Darius. He got a twin sister. We needed it because we wouldn't go out there and breaking people's houses and breaking cars.
Yeah.
We would go to the 7-Eleven after smoking weed and drinking. We would go to 7-Eleven. Kevin was the sophist.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He would hold the door. And I was one of the fast. Me and Tim was fast, so we would grab the stuff and run. And Cece would occupy the attendant, because back in those days, there was only one attendant at the local 7-Eleven, and they knew we was doing it. But they couldn't stop because they didn't have the locked doors like they got now. They ain't had a security guard. And the bad sock reality was they let us come back in there. You know, but when we were younger, we couldn't go in. They would put us in the corner store. They put us in the freezer. You know, till our parents came and got us.
Wow.
And so we kind of stopped it, but we were notorious now later thieves.
Okay.
You know, and them little things they got now, those not now later. They used to be big things. I mean, long pack. I mean, like the Starburst now. But them nowadays was twice that big, and so. But we didn't get in a lot of trouble till we started getting older.
Okay.
You know?
And when you say older, what age is that?
We got into our late teens, early 20s.
Okay.
You know, I got arrested one time for. They call it DUI down here, and I still don't remember it to this day. I just remember waking up in jail, and a couple of my brothers got arrested for public intoxication. But Kevin, Tim, and C all went in the military, you know, and they all successfully discharged. CC came back from Germany with a heroin habit. He was scary when he first come back, and he ended up doing 28 years in prison, and he recently got out.
Okay.
I've tried to get him to come up here. He's been close a couple of times, but he called Miss Denise and told Miss Denise, I'll get back to you. He called Miss Meyer. Matter of fact, 3 weeks ago, and told her, he didn't call Miss Meyer at all. He just didn't show up, and hopefully he gets it before the disease get him. And but my brother Kevin passed away from alcoholism and drug addiction. Tim passed. We got a bad hearts running in our family.
Okay.
Tim passed from all the brothers I'm talking about are younger than me. Tim passed from a bad heart attack. Kevin passed from depression and drinking because he wouldn't stop. You know, the doctor told him to stop. You know, they told me to stop, and I didn't stop it initially either. Because I was doing my own thing. I was out in the world thinking I was having fun, and I wasn't having fun. I'm having fun now.
Okay,
you know,
I like that.
Now, and speaking of that, when I first came to Mettle Works, I was downstairs. You had a suit on, and I know now it was Q. Y'all was at the desk, and there was all these signs, and I looked in the window. I wasn't nosy, but my cardiologist is downstairs. But I was curious. But when I seen all them police with all them stars, I said, well, I ain't going in there. You know, and they had cameras. I think the mayor was here, or the police chief. And I just inquired, and you and I started talking. And I ain't know you were you at the time, because you had a suit on. You took me upstairs. You introduced me to Mr. Denise, and I've been coming ever since. And I walked past your office for 4 months. You always smile and acknowledge my presence, but the thing that got me one day, I clicked because I'm visual, and I pictured you with a suit on. I haven't seen you with a suit on since. You know, you said the other day.
I had one on the other day. I was looking for you.
But you know, and this is a great organization. It's helped me in so many ways with my mental health. It's helped me with feeling good about myself. And the people here are like family. I didn't know Henry was your son. You know, I didn't know your wife was your wife at first. The first time I saw her, she was in there with Miss Gail. And you know, but everybody here is so loving, kind, and they want to help. It's like a family. This ain't just an organization. It's like a family. You know, everybody wants to know your name. When they learn your name, you come in here and you speak. I don't understand why people don't flock to this place, because other organizations, they got a standard operation procedure. And they into getting you in there and getting you out. You come here and stay all day. You know, I mean, you got behavioral health issues. Mettle Works got something. You looking for a job? Come in here and hang out for a little while. Mettle Works will point you in the right direction. You know, and they got psychiatrists here. You know, I've seen y'all take people to go get their medicine. Matter of fact, I had to use that service just last week. Mr. Kelly, he went to get lunch, and he took me by CVS to get my medication because I watch. You know, some people say that's nosy, some people say, but I say it's curiosity, because the more I know, the more I can get involved, and the more I know, the more I can understand what's there available for me.
So let me ask that as a question, because you mentioned having curiosity, and the thing that I've witnessed about you is you are very observant, very intelligent guy, really sharp guy.
I'm a clown.
Well, you know, sometimes You know, sometimes a person being a class clown or having that type of quick wit is a sign of just really sharp intelligence. So it really can be one and the same. It's just how a person applies it.
Right.
Turning that back to the story of the spanking that you got.
Right. Got plenty more.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
But this one's an interesting one because you were at the White House.
Yeah.
And while the other class were moving around like herded sheep, you kind of had an idea that there's more to see in this building. It's a special building than just what they're showing me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got spanked for that.
Yeah, I got spanked for that, and I got spanked for talking back to the teacher too.
Okay.
The teacher said something to me. I can't remember what I said, but she said something, and it kind of, I guess it hurt my feelings, and I was rebellious.
Yeah.
And,
Thinking about it now, right? If you were able to be the adult in the room when they were getting on you, and let's say you were a third party, like you didn't know that was you there, would you have taken up for that child?
No, our relationship has been spotty, but it's been on a rise.
Good.
You know, my son's little Charles calls me old man. Brandon calls me old dude, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
At least they call me something.
Yeah.
And little Bert used to call. That's my oldest boy. He used to tell everybody that man right there. Now he tells people my dad. So it's progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
You know, and what I do with my children and my grandchildren, nothing's off topic.
Yeah.
You know, sex, especially drugs and alcohol. Yeah. I tell them what it did to me, and I sometimes they remember my brothers. I tell them remember what it did to your uncle.
Yeah.
You know, and it seems to be working, but it's a process.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you can't make a bologna sandwich with just a piece of bologna.
That's right.
You gotta have some lettuce, some tomatoes, maybe some salt and pepper, salad dressing. I like salad dressing, but most people like mayonnaise. Yeah. You know, some wheat bread, and a glass of lemonade or sweet tea. You know.
All right, so Mr. Ray, this has been a brilliant interview. I really enjoyed
this
conversation. I thank you for being very candid and sharing your story. I know that it will be a blessing to others.
Well, it tore off the scabs a couple of times.
Okay.
But I had to. See, I got an image.
Yeah, okay.
I tell them all the time I got an image.
Yeah. And that image. I don't know the 20 or 21-year-old version of you, man, but this version here, man, you are a phenomenal person, man.
Thank you.
Keep up the work and keep giving that love to them kids and them grandkids, man.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, man.
All right.
The pleasure's all mine.
Thank y'all.